Today here on 10-Minute Test Drive, we're going to have a quick look and a first drive of Hyundai's all-new 2013 Santa Fe. Hyundai's latest product launch is an all-new crossover for them. Well, it's not an all-new crossover in the sense of they've never done this before. It's all new in the sense of this is the 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe. This is a complete redo of their Santa Fe crossover, and it's going to be offered in two different models, really. They're going to have a 5-passenger short wheelbase one, and then they'll have a longer wheelbase 7-passenger, well, 6 or 7-passenger, depending on the configuration. That'll be, the wheelbase is stretched just shy of 4 inches. These are all based off the Sonata platform, which has obviously been very successful for Hyundai, and we had a chance today to take a quick drive, put about 100 miles in a road trip in this, and we want to give you just our first quick take on the car. So from a styling standpoint, the new Santa Fe is actually pretty good. It's an evolution of Hyundai's fluidic sculpture design, what they're now calling fluidic decision. And while it still has the trapezoidal grille, it definitely has some a little bit different take on the front end. One of the very interesting things is what Hyundai is doing with the headlamps. These are projector headlamps, but if you notice, they are square rather than round for the main beams. Walk around to the side, and you can see Hyundai still continues with all the shapes on the side, but much less pronounced than in the Sonata, or even in some of their other later models. One of the things you'll be able to tell the difference between the 5-passenger and the 7-passenger is the last light there in the DLO, or daylight opening. That will have a completely different shape in the 7-passenger, and obviously it'll be extended a little bit longer. In the back, pretty standard fare back here with the hatch. Now we're going to take a look at inside, because they've done some cool things for this price point. Just haven't necessarily seen. What we have back here is actually a 40-20-40 split seat, so you can split this side, the middle, the third, or a combination of. And one of the nice things is there's a handle right here, and you just pull that and it releases the seats, and then you've got some stuff in the back seat, but they fold mostly flat. The driver's seat right now is set for me at 5'11", and you can see there's plenty of knee room, lots of headroom here, and we'll get to this here in a second. The back seat also has an adjustment for fore and aft, so a little difficult to tell that angle. So we go from here all the way back here, so can't, well, a little difficult to see on the video. I apologize for that. But there's about 5 inches of adjustment in the rear seat. The Santa Fe also has rear shades for the windows, factory or as standard. So there's that. Something we haven't seen a lot of is extra air vents here, power down here in the back seat passengers. We have heated seats in the rear, which are good. And we take a look at the front. It's a cockpit very similar to what you know from the Sonata. 7-inch touchscreen display, navigation, XM, all your hookups for your MP3, iPod, all down there along with the power port. Heated seats, 3-position heated seats. And something that we saw on the Elantra GT first is the ability to change the steering wheel from sport to comfort to normal. Now, one of the things we'll tell you is that there is, in this car, in the Elantra GT, we didn't notice a lot of difference. In here, we noticed a big difference. You don't maybe notice it from comfort to normal or normal to sport so much, although there is definitely a difference between normal and sport. But when you go between sport and comfort, the difference is huge. It goes from, we would call the sport setting what we think steering should be set at. It was nice, direct, you know, I mean, not that you're gonna get a lot of feel, but there was no slop in the wheel. In comfort, there's a lot of extra assist, and it feels a little sloppy, to be honest with you. In normal, it's okay. But change it up into sport, and it makes a big difference. Now, one of the other things that this has, which is pretty good on a price point that we have here in this, is, we'll zoom in here on, oops, how about Titan? The center button there, well, this is an all-wheel drive model, so you can set it up as, you can lock the diffs. The center button is actually a heated steering wheel, which is very nice. It works good. I wouldn't say it's, you know, super warm, but it definitely does take the edge off the chill. And then, of course, you can have it set up as an active eco. So nicely equipped. You know, there's some things in here that we really like. Obviously, heated steering wheel, very nice, especially in the northern climates. Or if you live in a mountainous climate where it gets, you know, anywhere it gets cold in the morning, really, it's a nice difference. Three-way heated seats, it'd be cold. It'd be nice if they had cooled seats. Okay, that's, you know, we're right on that borderline of where you sort of expect that thing. Let's talk about a couple things that we weren't so hip on. Number one, there are a couple places where we think the material quality could be a little bit better for the price point, and I've said that twice now. We'll touch on that in here in just a second. If we look at the materials here on the dash, these are very nice, very nicely grained, soft touch. This wood is, well, it's probably more of a plastic dip kind of look, but it's in here, in this combination, it's pretty attractive. This piece though here, it's not hard plastic, it's not soft plastic, it's kind of, but it's more hard than soft, and it just looks and feels a little odd there. The other thing I want to point out over here is on the window controls. Only the driver's seat, only the driver's window is express up and down. Maybe for most people, they don't care. But let's touch on the price here for a second. 35 grand for this turbo all-wheel drive model, which is nicely equipped. It has the technology package and stuff. So, I mean, we're not talking an insignificant amount of money, and at 35 grand, you're starting to expect a few things in the car. One thing this does have, let's get to that right now, is an absolutely ginormous sunroof. And it takes up most of the cabin space, basically from the rear headrest in the back seat, if you go straight up, all the way to, this would probably be mid-thigh. I mean, that's a lot of glass there. So, and then it rolls all the way to the back. So, very nice. Really, as you can see, it makes a huge difference on a day like today. Just the amount of sun that it lets in, and then of course, you know, let the sun shine. And you know, the opening isn't huge, but it's not bad. And then you have your wind deflector here. So all in all, so what's our take? Just a quick take. This is a 10-minute test drive. We're in about 10 minutes. Overall, it's really good. Again, there's a couple things we think could be a little better, a couple misses, but in general, this is a pretty good effort by Hyundai. It drives good. You know, this is nothing that's going to be sporty. It's definitely tuned more towards comfort. A lot of the suspension stuff that we talk about Hyundai how it tends to be a little harsh, a little jarring, that they need some tuning in there. Well, they've solved most of that, although it maybe is a little too wallowy at this point. But, you know, could be some of the roads that we drove as well. But overall, fairly impressed with this car, and we look forward to having this thing for a longer term so that we can get a better take on it. But first take on this thing, it's a winner for Hyundai.